Hello and welcome back to video number 3 in the Vic3 segment of my Paradox Interactive Historical Playthrough Mega Series, playing as the nation of Brazil. I'm Admiral Jedi. We are going to pick up immediately right where we left off, and what has happened is the First Republic has been formed. We are no longer an empire. We are an oligarchic republic. Now, if you have no idea what that means, like I didn't, oligarchy basically means rule by the wealthy. So at this time period, things are a little bit screwed up. Who should be in power is the landowners, and they are drastically not. In fact, they're at the bottom of the clout, and this is kind of brutal. So the very first part of this video, and you're not going to watch me do it, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do because it's kind of interesting, I think. What we're going to do is move to put them in power. Now, I've said all along that I don't give tutorials. It's not because I'm too snobby to do it. It's just not really my focus. So, but this time I'm going to kind of show you a bunch of things that I'm going to do. So, first of all, these two, oh, no, that's not true. Industrialists, who did I just put in power? Industrialists and intelligentsia are in power. So one of the very first things I'm going to do is leave my taxation high, because you can see here that it will give negative 20% attraction to interest groups in government. Okay, another thing that I'm going to do immediately is I don't want these industrialists to be in power. So I'm going to kill every single company I have, because that company, even though it was agricultural related, would have had industrialists owning plants, and I don't want that. Instead, what I want are my landowners, my aristocrats, owning plants, and they do that, of course, by way of their manor houses. Right? That's where they got all their wealth from. Talk about that in a minute. What I'm also going to do is try to pass a law right away. And specifically what I'm going to do is take religion. Is that what I was going to do? No. We're going to enact total separation to diminish the power of the church. Later on, I'm going to take religious schools away as well to diminish the power of the church, because they're up there. Right? Now, to dump the power of the intelligentsia, what I'm going to do is find all my universities and pare them back. I built them too high, so we're going to decrease their size, right? Which is like, huh? Why are you doing that? Well, remember, Brazil was not a super technologically advanced country at this point. And so what that will do is basically unemploy a lot of intelligentsia very quickly, which means their wealth and therefore their clout will tank. So let's let this go for like a couple weeks and just see if that has any effect. Where was that? Intelligentsia, right? Oh, they went up. That's not what we want. Now remember, clout is a percentage of all the rest, so they can go up by merely other people going down. What was that? All right. Well, okay, modern oligarchy. This is relevant, where we see the oligarchy sort of changing and going forward. My overall goal in this first section, believe it or not, is going to try to boost their clout all the way up into the 20s. And that is really hard to do. I've done a trial run at it like 2 or 3 times, and it's kind of brutal. I'm going to and need to complete this river of coffee and then focus on coffee and milk. I'm going to get into that a lot later. But I think that was all the things that we're going to do to get people to get this clout shifted. The other thing I'm going to do right away is build even more coffee plantations, despite the fact that coffee is not exactly a super profitable, although it's not bronze colored, it's silver colored, so that's cool. We are going to build coffee until we can't build coffee no more. All right, welcome to the video. Let's get rolling. Oh yeah, I forgot one of the other things that I can do is bring law enforcement up, because this will shift them up to like a 15% clout or political strength. So between that and all the changes that I've made so far, and building an absolute ton of coffee plantations in Sao Paulo. Let me bring you back in when they hopefully have an improved clout. I'll bring you back in when they at least hopefully get above 10. So I will bring you back in. It was pretty quick. And this, the governor's policy, and this really ties into our oligarchy. That, and we're going to talk more about this, coffee with milk. I'm going to talk about this a lot once I get it rolling, which I've got to get landowners all the way up to powerful. You can see it there. Where's it at? That we could basically get them, tank it, or have them reach 100% with powerful land. This is what historically happened. So I need to move the needle on this all the way to the right. But this governor's policy here, and if you see it, I'm just going to read it. The governors of the powerful coffee and milk states, and the reason why they called it coffee is because Sao Paulo, very focused on coffee. Milk, Minas Gerais, very focused on the cattle and dairy industries. They had an agreement with the federal government to ensure control of both of their local oligarchies. And basically, they had an agreement where one would have power, then the other would have power, and the other would have power, and the other would have power. So we're going to choose this option that says this policy will ensure the stability of Brazil because it gives us political strength, which is good news. We need it. I'll deal with this a little bit later. But let's go ahead and see if that had any impact on our clout. I hope so. We were at 6. We're at 7, 8. So we're going to try as hard as we can to have this number keep going up and up and up. Now, in the meantime, what is happening, also historically accurate, is standard of living was just very, very poor for many, many people. And that was kind of one of the problems, is it was like they were very focused on themselves, the oligarchies were, the landowners, and everybody else could just kind of pound sand. And so we're going to do that historically accurate. This is really hard for me to do as a Victoria 3 player, to just watch all that stuff. Come on, I don't need stalls at this point. Sure. It's really hard for me to just watch this stuff rot, but that is historically what happened. Total separation passed, which is good. And so we're seeing the clout of the church go down, which is good, because that can only mean that our clout will go up. You can see we're above 10, which is good. It's a slog from here. I've done this a few times, though, and you got to just keep pumping these guys' wealth. And so, yeah, I'll take foreign investment rights in your country, because that means my landowners, as well as my industrialists, unfortunately, and they're top of the pile right now, can invest. So we're going to just keep investing in them and pushing this up. What happened to authority here? I'll deal with that later. Anyway, let us talk about... Oh, we had a civil war, but it went away. Darn it, I was going to use it, but it's gone. So, who knows, maybe I will try to make another one. Alright, let's ignore the civil war for a minute. Oh, okay, this happened in a very timely manner. I was going to say, let's keep an eye on the wealth of the landowners. I'm just going to let the clock tick for a little while. 683, we passed a week. Wow, it stayed put. It was going up, up, which is what we want. We can see their clout going up. That's what we want. Let's keep an eye on this 683 and see if we get any more wealth boost. No, okay. We don't. Anyway, what just happened was the river of coffee passed. Successful development, Brazilian agriculture. Brazil was exporting huge amounts of coffee at this point, and they were all in on coffee. All in. Dangerously so. They did not diversify all that much. That's common economic advice, right? Don't have all of your eggs in one basket. And there were so many people that just wanted to come here and start coffee plantations, and it caught up with them eventually, where they overproduced so much coffee that it caused a crash in the prices. But for now, we're going to get to have a huge boost to landowner political strength, approval, and even more throughput. So let's let another week go by and bring our, see what we got here. 7, okay, wealth is going up. 12.9, so remember, even when I brought you in just this time, we We were at 10. Now we're third in the list. We are getting up there. Let's keep going.
There's a bit of an interesting opportunity here with this reactionary movement becoming a revolution. I had to act quickly to try and pass this public schools law. Not super sure of a historical tie-in here, because otherwise this reactionary movement would have included my landowners, the people who I'm trying to have be powerful in government. We're up at 17.9%. We've been making a lot of progress, which is good. And one of the things that I've discovered is that this will help put me over the top once the war is over. No, thank you. So we're going to go ahead and let this war happen. And it is somewhat historically accurate to have revolts during this time period. The Republic, right after they were formed, did face a fair amount of revolt, including what were called the Federalist revolts, where people were rebelling against the centralized authority of the oligarchs, and also naval revolts, where Navy officers captured ships and rebelled, and there were ironclads out patrolling around Rio, and it was a tough time. So we're going to go ahead and let this go on. Really what's primarily happened in game, which is historically accurate, is, as I've said before, I'm letting the standard of living of most places just kind of rot. I wish that Minas Gerais had better standard of living. That would be more historically accurate. But we'll ignore that for now. And so we're going to let this play out and fight the war and see what happens after. All right, it's time to get this war underway. Here we go. So they're not bringing a whole lot to the table here. This should not be a difficult battle to fight. So let's get everybody spun up here. Probably won't even need that many. So, you never know. Go ahead and just get everybody going. So we are going to hopefully crush the rebellion. And when that's done... Oh, look, see, we just rocketed to the top of the clout list. And that's very good news. So we should be powerful, hopefully very soon. And once an election happens, are we in government still? I think we are. Yes. Okay. So we're going up, we're going up. And I've seen this go up to like 27% sometimes during the war, which is weird. This math, I'll just never understand this clout math. I mean, I understand the purest clout math, but what leads to it and everything, these numbers here, votes, wealth. I mean, this number fluctuates wildly. Anyway, a little bit boring. So we will prosecute the war. Hopefully no other countries are going to jump in here. What are they? I guess they're conscripting. That's why they've kind of doubled their size. And then bring it back in when it's over, and let's see what our clout looks like once they get kicked down. I mean, I guess they're down at the bottom already. So I was really hoping clout would be higher than that. Because you can see what clout does with landowners for whatever reason. And it goes up and then down, you know, and just down over time. And it's so aggravating trying to push this to 20%. It's been like the bane of my existence. This has been a really rough run. All the different challenges that I've put on myself, and no technology and all that sort of thing. And I'm not having that much fun, to be honest with you. But I don't know. For history, that is really... I don't understand this stuff. Okay, huge defense. So, what... I mean, what I've had to do in the past I'll just do this later, is just put these guys on defense. They just sit here on defense and let the other ones attack me, and, you know, there you go. So we're going to lose this battle where we grossly outnumber them. But I guess what, we just don't have super high offense. I don't even know, like, what are they leading here? Like, what's their military? They've got to have the same. Does it show you? Oh, okay. Yeah, just go into the army. All right. So they have 1 skirmish infantry. Oh, I didn't realize they had artillery. Okay, fair enough. Why do they have such super high defense? Like they have 1 skirmish. What is this, +6? I guess that means, come on, open it up. Yeah, I don't know. I'll never figure this stuff out. And they've got 25% organization, whereas I have 100% organization. They're like, yeah, you're just gonna lose for no reason. Maybe it's my supply. I've got to get my Navy involved here. I think I saw that one time before. Alright, you know what? Let's just go ahead and let it roll. And we'll have this whole section be dedicated to military. I mean, I'm going to lose this battle, obviously. Oh, see, my offense just went up. I mean, a fair amount. Okay, and this... Yeah, this battle should easily be mine. Okay, so now supply shouldn't be an issue for me. 16 to 21. How did they pull that off? And where's my homie? Okay, well, maybe it's because I just straight don't know how to play this game. That's always an option. Alright, no active battles. What do we got here? Morale's going back up. Oh, my dude's attacking. You know what? Let's let it go through and see what happens. Hopefully it's not going to be 8 versus 16. Oh, we're going to lose again. Alright, what do we got? It's our 21,000 people with our just super crappy offense against their super ridiculously high defense. Okay. Well, nothing we can do about it, I suppose. And it's going to make us go down, and I'm going to lose the revolution by just simply bashing my head against their crazy high defense. So, alright. I'm going to fast forward this. Okay, I'm finally turning the battle around, mostly because now I'm doing what they're doing, which is just defending constantly. And the revolution is being televised. So anyway, let me try and ignore my friend who's trying to talk to me while I'm recording. Okay, and something else that happened finally is landowners are powerful, which is nice. And I don't think we need to change anything. Yeah, we probably do. Let's kick PB out and just landowners and armed forces. This is finally historically accurate. Yay. So with PB kicked out of the government, we just lost clout. It's just what happens. We just lose clout. Sorry, you're at the top, but yeah, you're gonna lose clout. Anyway, let's just go ahead and hope that the revolution ends here and see what impact that has. We'll fast forward. Okay, and there you go. So the revolution is over. And we're good. Alright, so here, again, I don't know what happened. The numbers didn't change. None of the groups went up. But it's like, I don't know, maybe because there were some pops that were involved in those areas, but now we're up over 20% clout. If I can keep it that way, which is dang near impossible, then we can go after the coffee with milk journal entry. We need whatever 240 minus 122 is, right? 118 more months. That's 10 years that I have to keep them at or above 20. So we're just going to focus on other things, some of the things we've talked about already, like rubber. In fact, that's probably what we're going to get back to is rubber. I'm just going to keep on playing, trying to keep this number above 20, and we will talk about rubber when we can talk about rubber. So there you go. And so, speaking of rubber, I thought I did a segment earlier in this video on this, but after reviewing my clips, I did not. So, this journal entry, exploiting the Amazon, comes up, and we will fulfill it if all 5 states have exploited the Amazon rainforest. We'll go through that, maybe. We're gonna do this, I think it's pronounced Acri. We're going to do this claim Acri. Unfortunately, we can't do this, even though it's historically accurate, until Amazonas is owned by Brazil. And I didn't spot that for a long time. So I've been doing incorporation, but I don't think it's going to be done for another 12 years. So that is not historically accurate in terms of... due to be subject to the following effects. I just noticed that landowner strength, and it kind of threw me off, because I'm always excited when I see landowner strength. But anyway, I did not start incorporating it for a while. It's going to be a while. That is not, okay, that is not historically accurate, because the rubber boom happened sooner than later. Now, what's really difficult and possibly impossible about this is, let's go ahead and look at rubber. We cannot use rubber ourselves due to my no technology constraints. Then when you see who's using it, who has a demand for it, a lot of the demand is coming from Britain. But if we look at their market and see rubber in... I thought I was going to look for rubber in the British market. Instead, I've got to scroll around for it. Okay. They have massive rubber plantations in their colonies, which is satisfying more than enough of their needs. And you can see rubber is super... well, I don't want to say super... but, you know, relatively low price compared to what they need. That is not historically accurate. Brazil was a major producer of rubber, and I don't think that the British started capitalizing on African rubber until much later, I think. But that presents for me an even bigger problem, which is the only people that are using... America's not using rubber at all. And I suppose I could try and export rubber into France or Prussia. No, I thought it's funny, I thought I was producing it. Okay, I've got a shortcut. I thought I was producing it already. And so when I try to export, it's like, why not? Following, oh, I see, because we just don't have enough. So that's fine. I can go ahead and change that. Where are we even exporting or producing from? Minas Gerais. That's not really historically accurate either. And how I ended up with a state-owned rubber plantation there is kind of beyond me. So we're going to get rid of it. And what we're going to do is go back to Brazil, where we're actually playing. And I'm going to put together my first rubber plantation in Amazonas. So that will, let's fast forward to that so we can see what that looks like from an export perspective. Okay, with my first rubber plantation active, I can now see how I can export rubber to literally nobody, which is not historically accurate at all. And then if you look at it and say why, I really wish that there was a way to see the good within the market. There is, but it's a little bit wonky. You got to do it like this. Okay, so this is rubber in the French market. Like I already did this with the British market, right? So they're good. And it's like, oh, look, they have thousands of rubber plantations themselves. All right, cool. Let's see where, because remember, let's switch back to rubber and see it by consumption. Let's see who else is looking at it. Wrong way. Okay. So who else is looking at it? Prussia. Okay, cool. Do they have a market? Prussia market. All right, cool. Rubber. Oh, no, they're good. Yeah, they got plenty of, where's it coming from? Well, first of all, their own. Who knew that Prussia had a bunch of rubber plantations in the Pacific Southeast? I didn't know that. So anyway, this is very frustrating because it is so not historically accurate. The last thing I'm going to do is go to war against Prussia so I can export rubber to them instead of them getting it for themselves. The only people that I think I can rely on, possibly down the road, which is somewhat historically accurate, is probably the American market. Let's see, who knows, maybe I'm wrong. I've already had a few surprises with that already. Okay, there it is, 0-0. Problem is, they don't need it. So, okay. Oh, and they've got rubber plantations in Liberia as well, but they're not using it yet. So I'm going to keep America on the hook and just hope that I can export rubber to them, because otherwise this whole exploiting the Amazon journal will just be completely pointless and worthless. At long last, and after so many diplomatic plays in North Germany, which have nothing to do with me, landowners have been powerful for long enough. We are about to get to the end of this month and finally reach 100% in coffee with milk. Complete the journal entry. This has been a long slog with the maintenance of the landowner's power, and man, was it rough. I have been working this clout as best as I can. Learned a lot, thought I learned a lot, didn't really learn a lot. The milk coffee oligarchy has been fully and firmly entrenched. This really happened. Coffee in Sao Paulo, milk in Minas Gerais. Now, oddly enough, the dairy industry has just never taken... Let me get my act together here. Come on, I should have memorized this geography by now. Has never taken place. This has been a rough, boring playthrough for me. I am not gonna lie. They're like, we need food, but nobody wants to work here. But we all want to whine and have low standard of living and starve to death. Anyway, I've been complaining this whole video series. I'm so sorry. Brazil's been tough. This has been a tough series to play historically for a few reasons. One, Brazil was very state-oriented. Sao Paulo was different from Minas Gerais, was different from Rio Grande do Sul, was different from Maranhão, and they each had their own very individual identities and politics. And there's really no such thing in this game as state politics. Correct me in the comments, please. Take umbrage with me. And in order to play Brazil historically correctly, you had to really have that. And so it's been a frustrating playthrough. We're not over.
I thought about maybe having this be the last video. I don't know what I'm going to do for Holy 4. We'll see. I'll figure something out. Okay, let's get this wrapped up, and then I'm going to wrap up the entire video. Has been fully and firmly entrenched conservative, like I said, of Minas Gerais, Sao Paulo, look to be the country. Okay, what are we going to choose here? Political strength from wealth. Things will be different one day. Does it matter? I don't know that it matters. Choose century of order and progress. I mean, things will be different. And we're going to try in the next video to get the Vargas events going. So I tell you what, I'm going to only choose this 7% because the last thing I want to do is drag trade. I don't know what Vargas is going to bring for me, but drag trade unions up from 5 clout to powerful again. That was really brutal to do. Sorry that I'm complaining so much. It was rough. But we're definitely going to call it for this video. Thank you for watching. I don't know. Next video, we're going to do rubber. Maybe. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything with rubber, to be honest with you. There's nobody buying it. And like I already complained about earlier, what is this? Okay. France and all these other European countries have just got their personal colonial sources of rubber like completely set. That should be huge, historically speaking, for Brazil. It's just not in this game. There is an event for claiming Acre, which we're probably going to do. Maybe we see some military action in the Peru-Bolivia area. But for now, we're going to call it coffee and milk. We need some milk! It is done. I'm very happy that it's done, and I don't need to focus on this damn clout number and watch it go down month after month after month. And so I will just thank you for watching. See you next time. Video number 4 for Vargas. And that's it. Admiral Jedi out.